So, since those were probably cars that you might have been involved in creating, did that hurt you in that sense as well when that happened, or?
Oh, well, it didn't hurt us. Of course, we built replacement parts for us, but I don't like to. I don't like to do that. I don't want to see. I don't want to look at making money in somebody else's misfortune, But race cars, that happens, So, we supply the parts, and we'll put them back. We also have a service that will take even like the parts that have been damaged. If there's at least half of that left, we'll cut the bad part out. We can put it back in the mold. We can make the other half and join them together so there's no increase in weight, and then you have exactly the same parts that you had before the crash. So we try to do everything we can to make it as affordable for the competitors, and that's the direction we go in. So.
Yeah. What's your favorite track you've raced on?
Probably Bridgehampton, which they no longer run. I don't know if you're familiar with that track or not.
I've heard of it.
It's out in Long Island. That was a combination of Road America, Road Atlanta, and Lime Rock kind of all put together. It was there were a lot of altitude changes and curves, and it was just a really, really cool place to be because there was just so much history with the Can-Am back in the Can-Am days.
That's really cool.
And Trans Am too. Yeah.
Is Can-Am a different type of thing than the motorcycle brand, or what exactly are Can-Ams?
Yeah. Okay, so Can-Am is back in the day. You've heard of Bruce McLaren?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Bruce McLaren, those cars that he ran were the Can-Am cars, and they were high horsepower single seat cars, 200 mile races with no pit stops. And yeah, no pit stops. Same set of tires. I don't know how many gallons of fuel were on them. They were just they were kind of like chariots, with big Reynolds aluminum engines and fuel injection, and then they started getting into aerodynamics, and then unfortunately Bruce McLaren lost his life while he was trying to test aerodynamics in the car, and the wing broke, but that was back in the 50s, in the 70s, and the 60s and 70s, and it was one of the most lucrative, as I understand it, one of the most lucrative road racing series that there ever was. There were a lot of people that ran that series and made a living at doing it. But it is, you talk about ground pounders and thunder. If you ever get an opportunity to go one of the SVR races when they feature the Can-Am cars and they get 8 or 10 of those things in there, you literally feel the ground shake. It's amazing. Man. Yeah. If you do a little bit of research on it and find out, Oscar Kovalevsky, do you know that name?
I've heard it, but I don't know.
Okay, Oscar Kovalevsky, unfortunately we've lost him last year, but he ran a McLaren, and he ran in Can-Am. There are a number of people that have run in Can-Am that have branched out. Oscar, his crew chief was Jack Darren, and they took time and they put together a CD highlighting some of they were actually watching some of the old Can-Am films, and they were making comments. They were talking about it. It's something that if you get a hold of one of those and listen to it, it's really enlightening.
I'll have to look into that. So how'd you hold up with your businesses during COVID times?
We never closed down. We worked straight through. We're considered, plastics manufacturer was considered an essential. What we did was we switched to do PPE for a while. We were making face masks. I still probably have about 10 boxes of face masks. We were actually doing them and then giving them out to the first responders and really anybody who wanted them, So we did that for a while, and then of course we do the government work, so that was another reason why we stayed open. But we never shut down. We were working straight through.
That's really great. So what does your future look like in the sport at the moment?
Well, as I said, I want to do this as long as I can. We're looking at doing some upgrades. We have a 2022 Camaro upgrade. There's I don't know if that is done. That's out. That's ready to go, and we're making those parts. There's another upgrade that we're working on. I probably shouldn't answer. It's not been announced yet, so I can't use names. But we're doing another one of the one of the 4 that we mentioned that we're doing. We're doing an upgrade on that. There'll probably be a press release here in the next maybe 2-3 weeks on that. So, but I plan on I'm going to stay racing as long as I can. Oh, we have an upgrade in the Cadillac too, which is the one that I'm driving. I'm going to stay racing as long as I can get in and out of the car. So we'll just see how it goes.
Great to hear. So that's all I have for now, because the 30-minute time is pretty much up at this point, but I appreciate the time you put into this.
Well, thank you. I will try to let me see if I can find one of those CDs, and we'll stay in touch with either private message or stay in touch. And if I can find that, I'll get it to you, and you can see the Can-Am days.
No problem. I appreciate the time, and everyone, please check out his business at this link right here. And we'll see you next week for the next episode of Stories from Motorsports.